everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in GK Today's Academy Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in Academy Android application. So in this app course you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document and also category wise revision ebooks which are optimized for reading on your mobile itself. Apart from it, you are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. Please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 8th and 9th of December 2021. Starting with very first question. Central Electronics Limited, which is said to be divested, is a CPSE under which union ministry? So the union government has approved the strategic disinvestment of Central Electronics Limited after the competitive bidding process. And this CEL is a Central Public Sector Enterprises under the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, which comes under Ministry of Science and Technology. So the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs Empowered Alternatives Mechanism has approved the highest price bid of Nandal Finance and Leasing for a sale of 100% equity shareholding of Government of India in Central Electronics Limited. And the winning bid is over 210 crore rupees. Okay. Now apart from it, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has announced the formation of a 3-member committee to review the criteria for economically weaker section reservations. And this committee will comprise former Finance Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey, Member Secretary of ICSSR Professor V.K. Malhotra and Principal Economic Advisor to the Indian Government Sanjeev Sanyal. So this committee will examine the approaches followed so far for identifying the economically weaker sections and it will send its recommendations to the center in the next 3 weeks. Fine. Now apart from it, National Professor Rafiqul Islam, who is a scholar and cultural activist from Bangladesh, recently he has passed away at the age of 87 years. So do remember that he won various awards. For example, he received the Independence Award, then Ekushe Padak and the Bangla Academy Literary Award as well. Okay. Also, he was awarded the International Mother Language Award in his lifetime. Fine. Now, a few days back, we have seen that the United Nations General Assembly has adopted a historic resolution to graduate 3 nations from LDC, that is least developed country category, to the developing category. And which are these 3 countries? Bangladesh, Nepal and Lao People's Democratic Republic. Okay. Question number 2. When is the Day of Remembrance for all the victims of chemical warfare observed every year? So the Day of Remembrance for all victims of chemical warfare is observed by the United Nations on 30th of November, and this day is marked to pay tribute to the victims of chemical warfare. Also, the day highlights the pledge taken by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, that is OPCW, to eliminate the threat of chemical weapons. Okay. Now apart from it, World AIDS Day is observed every year on 1st of December across the world, and this year theme was End Inequalities, End AIDS and Pandemics. So the theme is quite important here, and the day aims to create awareness about the disease and working towards ending the stigma surrounding it. Okay. You have to tell me what is its full form, and since it is caused by HIV, also you have to write the full form of HIV. Okay. Now apart from it, United Nations observes 29th of November as the International Day of Solidarity with Palestinian people since 1978, and the day aims to mark the adoption of United Nations resolution to the partition of Palestine into two states. So United Nations traditionally celebrates the day by holding its annual debate on the question of Palestine. Okay. Now apart from all these things, to commemorate the occasion of India's 75 years of independence, Ministry of Women and Child Development has celebrated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav recently last month. And what was the theme for it? Theme was Children Ideas, Rights and Nutrition. So basic objective was to generate awareness about the child rights among the society through outreach activities in child care institutions and specialized adoption agencies. Okay. Question number 3. Who is the first president of Barbados, which became the world's newest republic? So after 396 years of becoming a British colony, the Caribbean island country Barbados has recently become the world's newest republic, and the country has removed Queen Elizabeth II as the head of the state, and Dame Sandra Mason was sworn in as the president by the Chief Justice of the country. Do remember that Barbadian singer Rihanna was declared as a national hero as well. Okay. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that Magdalena Andersson became the first female Prime Minister of Sweden, and she is the leader of the central left Social Democratic Party. Now apart from it, Centre has constituted a Central Vista Oversight Committee to directly oversee the 20,000 crore rupees project for a period of 2 years. Do remember that Ratan P. Vatal has been appointed the chairman of this 5-member Central Vista Oversight Committee, and Joint Secretary of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs will be the convener of this committee. Okay. Now the new CEO of Twitter is Mr. Parag Agrawal, and he has replaced Jack Dorsey. Also do remember that Parag Agrawal has become the youngest CEO in top 500 companies. Okay. Now question number 4. As per recent data from Fisheries Ministry, 41% of the coastline of which state is subject to erosion from 1990 to 2018. So satellite data from 1990 to 2018 has revealed that 41% of the coastline of Kerala state is subject to varying degrees of erosion. And recently this has been revealed by our Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Mr. Purushottam Rupala, in the Lok Sabha. So the National Shoreline Change Assessment Mapping for Indian coast carried out by the National Centre for Coastal Research, that is NCCR, using 28 years of satellite data. Now talking about Kerala, recently Kerala Tourism has launched the street program in selected places in total of 7 districts in the state of Kerala, and the project would help the visitors experience the diversity of offerings in those places. What does street stand for? It is sustainable, tangible, responsible, experiential, ethnic tourism project. Okay. Then Indian Organ Donation Day celebrations has been organized by NOTO, which stands for National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, in New Delhi. Do remember that India now ranks 3rd in the world only after USA and China. Okay. Now recently IOC has released new advice on transgender athlete rules, and now it highlighted that no athlete should be excluded from competing based on an unverified and perceived unfair competitive advice just because of their physical appearance, sex variation or transgender status. Okay. Question number 5. What is the GDP at constant prices in the second quarter of 2021 to 2022 as per the National Statistical Office estimates of GDP? So the NSO, which works under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, released the estimates of gross domestic product for the second quarter, that is for July to September of 2021 to 2022. And GDP at constant prices in quarter 2 is estimated at 35.73 lakh crore, while it was 32.97 lakh crore in quarter 2 of last year, that is 2020-21. So this was a total growth of 8.4%. Okay. Now apart from it, as per a periodic labor force survey by again National Statistical Office, unemployment rate for all ages in urban areas rose to 9.3% in January to March of 2021. So this is a rise from 9.1% in the same month of the previous year. Also, it showed that unemployment rate among males remained at 8.6%, while for females in urban areas, it rose to 11.8%. Okay. Now, previously we have seen that Yahoo has proposed to pull out its operations from China because of China's personal information protection law that comes as threat and came into effect from 1st of November. Okay. Question number 6. Vidya Divina Education Assistance Scheme is implemented by which union state or union territory? So under Jagan Ann Vidya Divina scheme, the fees of students belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe or other minority groups are reimbursed. And hence Andhra Pradesh government has released a 686 crore rupees package as the third tranche of this particular education assistance scheme, and the amount has been credited to the accounts of over 9 lakh mothers of 11 lakh students. So this is a scheme from Andhra Pradesh. Now apart from it, recently Andhra Pradesh State Assembly has passed the Andhra Pradesh Motor Vehicles Taxation Amendment Bill 2021 to levy green tax on vehicles. And the green tax will soon be imposed on all the vehicles running out there. Also, the center has earlier recommended to impose green tax to save the environment from carbon emissions by making the vehicle owners pay for the pollution they are creating. Okay. Also, Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly has passed a bill to repeal the controversial Andhra Pradesh Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions Act 2020 that was intended to establish 3 capitals for the state. So the government has announced that it would bring a comprehensive decentralization bill. Okay. Now apart from it, the state government of Andhra Pradesh, Union government and World Bank have signed agreements for $250 million loan for SALT program. What is SALT? Supporting Andhra's Learning Transformation Project. So this project basically aims to improve the quality of learning for more than 40 lakh students who are enrolled in the government schools. Okay. Question number 7. What is the total GST collection during the month of November 2021? So according to the data released by Union Finance Ministry, the GST revenue was at 1.3 lakh crore rupees for the second month in a row. And it is 25% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year and 27% higher than the 2019 value. This is for 2020. And the highest ever GST collection of 1.41 crore rupees was reported in the month of April. And this is the 5th consecutive month in which collections have crossed 1 lakh crore rupees benchmark. Okay. Now apart from it, SBI has recently listed its $650 million green bonds simultaneously on the India International Exchange and the Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Also, don't forget that India International Exchange had earlier announced its Memorandum of Understanding with Luxembourg Stock Exchange for green finance in the local market. Okay. Then, according to SBI research report EcoRap, India's GDP growth is likely to be in the range of 9.3 to 9.6% during financial year 2022 from its earlier estimate of 8.5 to 9%. Question number 8. Which institution released a report titled as Designing the Future of Dispute Resolution? So Niti Aayog has recently released this particular report, which is the ODR policy plan for India. So it proposed measures at 3 levels to address the challenges in adopting online dispute resolution, and the report recommends increasing digital infrastructure, building capacity, regulatory framework, and including permission for online notarization. Okay. Now earlier we have seen that Niti Aayog in its latest report said that India's national multidimensionally poverty index identified 25.01% of the population as multidimensionally poor. And the report is based on the National Health Family Survey for 2015 and 2016. Also, Niti Aayog has recently released a discussion paper called as Digital Banks, a proposal for licensing and regulatory regime for India. So in this, Niti Aayog offers a roadmap to make digital banks a reality in the country. Also, it cites that digital banks will help India mitigating the deepening financial challenges, and do remember that digital banks are defined in the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Question number 9. Which country has delivered advanced Heron drones to Indian Armed Forces? So Israel has recently delivered advanced Heron drones to Indian Armed Forces, which are far more advanced than the Herons in the existing inventory with better anti-jamming capability. And the acquisition of these drones has been done under the emergency financial powers granted by Indian government to the defense forces, under which they can buy equipment and systems worth 500 crore rupees to upgrade their military capabilities. Okay. Now talking about Israel, India has recently held a STEM conference with Israel. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. And in this particular conference, experts from India and Israel highlighted the importance of gender equality in STEM. And not only this, also they discussed the need to introduce flexible work timings and gender neutral pays to enhance women participation in the STEM. Now apart from it, Skill Development Ministry has recently launched a pilot project to revive traditional Namda craft in Jammu and Kashmir. And the project has been launched under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0, and the project aims to increase the carpet export from 600 crore rupees to 6,000 crore rupees. Now coming to last question, Beyond Apika project, which was sometimes seen in the news recently, is associated with which field? It should be actually E, not A. So Apika stands for the Beyond European project for ice coring in Antarctica. It is actually the oldest ice project funded by the European Commission, and it is being carried out by the Institute of Polar Sciences and the British Antarctic Survey. So this project aims to collect the oldest continuous ice core in Antarctica, providing a record of the climate spanning 1.5 million years. So this is related to ice exploration. Now apart from it, India and Japanese space agencies are planning to launch a joint mission to the moon that aims to explore the polar region. And recently Pakistan has successfully conducted a test launch of an indigenously developed Shaheen 1A surface-to-surface ballistic missile. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked this session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Zatsana signing off.